Yes, hello? Yeah, got the paper in today. Guess what? No sports section again. What are you guys doing down there? Watching your YouTubes and your Facebook? And another thing, more than the score. Brendan West should be on the show more. Bring back Brendan. We need more.
I know you've had a tough day, but we got to do more than the score. You're feeling a little hangry, so let me help you out. Better?
Better, Tim. Thanks, bud.
Okay, we'll do the show.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's very special Halloween edition of Telegraph Herald. More than the score. I am your host, Spooky Steve Ortman, and I guess I'm just kind of holding down the fort by myself this week. No one could bother to come in on Halloween to do this week's episode with me. My favorite holidays. So I guess we'll go ahead and get to it. Hey, Steve. Whoa! Floating head Tim O'Neill. How's it going?
Well,
Been better.
I've been better. Just not
Yeah.
quite feeling myself today. Not really quite sure if my heart's in it, but
I suppose not.
I'm at least mentally here today.
You're here. This is the finest example of coming into work sick.
I play hurt.
Give yourself some credit, my friend. Well, I appreciate the company. Very special Halloween edition. And when it's Halloween, that means we are heading to postseason football, my friend. The regular season wrapped up in Iowa, and Cascade, the only team to finish undefeated in Class 2A. They wrapped up an undefeated regular season, 9-0. They finished 7-0 in Class 2A District 4, wrapped up a district championship with a 28-21 come-from-behind victory over number 10 ranked LaPorte City Union this past Friday night. Harris Hoffman, quarterback, had himself a ball game. He threw for 136 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he showed what he could do rushing the football as well. 96 yards on the ground, as well as a touchdown and a key 2-point conversion. The Cougars got down 21-20 in the fourth quarter. Hoffman led a great game-winning drive, threw a touchdown pass to Blake Simon to win the game, and the Cougars, going back to the playoffs, another district championship. They are going to be hosting 6-3 West Liberty on Friday night to open the first round of the playoffs. I did talk to Harris Hoffman after that huge game, huge win over LaPorte City Union. Here's what he had to say about a terrific end to the regular season.
All right, go ahead and talk about this one. What a huge, what a huge win. District champs.
Nothing better. We knew we came in here knowing, you know what, they're just going to be just as tough as Waukon. It's going to be a really tight game. Coach has been telling us, you know, you can win close games, 14-21, 21-20, games like that. That's what we did tonight.
Yeah, talk about the ball control of this team tonight. Obviously some really long key drives that ran out a lot of clock.
Yeah, that's what we were trying to do. We were trying to run the clock out, and we just made sure we held on to the ball every single run.
Well, big players want the ball in key situations. You guys are down by 1. That final drive, walk us through that. What a key plays up and down by all these teammates of yours and yourself, of course.
Yeah, I knew they'd be keying on Austin on there, so we did some good fakes, and then I took it the opposite way, and it worked almost every time.
Yeah, what does it feel like for this team? I know you guys have been working real hard, and here you go, tight, close game, and you're district champions.
Feels awesome. Everybody in the beginning of the year is like, oh, they're not going to be, they're just going to be just as good as last year. We proved all of them wrong.
Yep, and I'm sure you guys aren't done quite yet, though, huh?
No.
Now, the Cascade Cougars, not the only team in Iowa from our area to make the postseason. Ain't that right, Floating Head Tim?
That is right, Spooky Steve. The Bellevue Comets are back in the playoffs. They finished runner-up in Class 1A District 3, earned a home playoff game because of the wild cards, and they will host Wilton. They're 8-1. The Comets had to win their Week 9 finale to get into the playoffs. I had the score here, Steve, in my notes, but I can't turn the page. What was that score again?
Well, first of all, it was 39-21, and I don't even see any notes, but anyway.
Oh.
You must have lost those too, along with your arms.
I had them written on my hands.
Oh, okay.
Actually.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
So, that makes sense.
So, yeah. So, the Comets will host Wilton. Both teams are 8-1. That game will be Friday at Bellevue. The Comets are one of the few teams in the state to be hosting a playoff game despite not winning the district. So, the Comets won their first ever playoff game last season, looking to make it 2 years in a row, moving on to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, and City Schools in Dubuque had a shot that final week of the season, but just could not punch their ticket to the playoffs.
Yeah, unfortunately, shut out this year. Dubuque Senior had a chance against Pleasant Valley in its Week 9 finale. Just had to beat the Spartans. Unfortunately, they came up a little bit short. Dubuque Wahlert also was in position to potentially get a wild card berth in Class 3A. They did everything they could. They got the 17-point win they needed, but unfortunately they finished just 8 points shy in the 17-point tiebreaker. I know you are very familiar with that and everything it means, but basically they just had to give up a couple fewer touchdowns in their losses to West Delaware and Davenport Assumption to have gotten that score differential less than 17 to have made up the difference. But still, second consecutive winning season. First time in at least a decade the Eagles have done that, so positive steps for that program, and they'll look forward to get back into the playoffs next year.
Yeah, some great games to close out the regular season on the prep level. This past weekend, we also had a great game at the Division III level at the Rock Bowl. Loris come from behind win 44-38 over Co. This was a team that the Duhawks have not beaten since 2008. The Co-Hawks won the Iowa Conference last season, so a big game for the Duhawks on their home turf. Made a come from behind victory, and it was big in the season as well. They evened up their overall record at 4-4, as well as 3-3 in the Iowa Conference, and they made that comeback in the second half due to wide receiver Josh Schulte. He caught 6 passes in the game for 76 yards. He also caught 3 touchdowns, all coming in the second half, as the Duhawks made that rally, scored the winning touchdown with 1:30 to play, and then held with 2 strong defensive stands in the final plays of the game to hold the Co-Hawks out of the end zone, pick up the win. I talked to Josh Schulte after the big win, and here's what he had to say.
Yeah, so that was an extremely fun game. We had to play an untimed down. I haven't played like that in a long time, so that's extremely fun to come out on top of that. Beat a co-team we haven't beaten in a long time. It was a team effort, and it was really, really, really fun and enjoyable.
Yeah, you mentioned that. Talk a little bit more about the ebb and flow of this game. I mean, it was so back and forth. You're up, gave up leads, made rallies, and what a second half.
Yeah, so it was ebb and flow even with their team and within our own team. We don't miss PATs very often. I had some drops, we ran some wrong routes. The defense gave up some big plays, but then the defense makes a big play. We have a game-winning drive, so it's a whole team effort. We scored on special teams. Just the whole team together today is what it needed.
Yeah, lastly, talk about the second half. What was working for you? 3 touchdown catches there in the second half.
Yeah, I think the guys believing in me really gave me some confidence. Rough first half, but sometimes you just gotta let that go and become a whole new player the second half. Quarterback gave me some shots, and we took advantage of it. Great team win, so.
Whoa! Whoa! That spider back there. That's a pretty cool looking spider. I don't know who made that, but she must be pretty talented. I mean, they must be pretty talented.
Yeah. I can't look. I have no legs.
Yeah. Yeah. Luckily, you supposedly had a brain, though. So, what else we got coming up this weekend?
Supposedly. A couple of huge college football games in the state of Iowa this week. Iowa State returns to the rankings for the first time in a long time, and they host number 4 TCU. Nice top 25 battle there. And then at Kinnick, Iowa hosts rival Minnesota, playing for the Floyd of Rosedale Trophy, the big bronze pig. Should be a couple of great games within the borders of the state this week, so stay tuned for that.
All right. Well, I think that is going to do it for this week's very special Halloween edition. Telegraph Herald More Than the Score. I'm your host, Spooky Steve Ortman. That's Floating Head, Tim O'Neill. Have a happy Halloween, everybody!